Hello, and welcome to this week's Route 1 Football Podcast.
Oh, yes! G! He's round the goalkeeper, he's done it! Well back! There's your fairy tale! Oh, Salah, you little dancer! Here's Hawk! D-Day!
Route 1 start, but a 5-star finish.
Now then, we're back. We've not got coronavirus. I know everyone's been worried. The Route 1 Football Podcast goes on. How are we feeling, guys? Ryan, are you all right?
Yeah.
You look a bit sniffly.
Hopefully not.
Jake?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm all good, I think.
Yeah.
I'm open, so anyway.
Like, when do we start worrying? Like,
Someone starts coughing today.
like
Once a year.
football
Well,
start.
I mean, I don't know whether you would have heard this about the uni of getting quarantined. Like the whole uni been shut down.
What?
'Cause people,
Seriously?
Supposedly, people have been having coronavirus parties. Supposedly.
Oh, well.
So,
I don't
a
know
little
if
bit
I'm-
of insight into student life in Liverpool. Like.
I don't know if
Feels
I'm-
like a rugby night out. What a
I just wonder what kind of stuff that would entail, by the way. Like, bring a whole new level to the word for Ponglat.
It started to get a little bit worrying that football's getting cancelled, don't it?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, I feel like a big segment of our podcast is going to be talking about that. So
It's
we'll
not VAR no more. It's coronavirus.
yeah, it's the new buzzword. But we'll let Jake get on with his quiz.
Yeah, so I've got a bit of a belter, I think, for this one, boys. So, the first round, as is tradition, is Who Am I's.
We
So, obviously, we all know how this works. First clue, 3 points if you get it. Second clue, 2 points. Third clue, 1 point. And obviously, we know how this goes by now. So, the first clue is I have played with Nicholas Anelka, Frank Lampard, and Paul Pogba. All at club level.
Boom, Andrea Pirlo.
Wow.
Get him!
Wow.
Oh, Lampard at New York, Anelka,
Juve.
Juve.
How did you know that?
Lampard in New York.
Yeah,
Is
but
that,
I'm
as
more
soon
thinking...
as you saw Lampard,
Yeah, I
you
thought it was
think
like
New York?
Anelka, Juve, and Pogba.
Really?
Juve.
I didn't even know Anelka played for Juve until... Wow, well, let's put a spanner in the works there. Ryan's on 3 points.
God's sake.
Okay, the next one. I've played with Peter Crouch, Thierry Henry, and Joey Barton.
Oh, Peter Crouch's been everywhere.
So, obviously, journeyman Peter Crouch, Thierry Henry, and Joey
Jibril
Barton.
Cissé.
It is not Jibril Cissé.
Ooh, that was a good shout, actually.
He may well have done, but it's not.
Nicholas Anelka.
No. Okay. Wow, 2 quick guesses off the bat there.
Is it not good QPR?
No, is it City then?
Oh, yeah, shit.
Okay, the next clue. I have played for 2 rival teams and won honours with both.
Ooh.
Michael Owen.
Nope.
Oof, shout.
It's dead air right now. Can I ask you for a guess, right?
Fuck, I have no one.
Shot in the dark?
Sean Ray Phillips.
Nope. Okay, and the final clue. I have played my whole career in the top flight of English football, apart from 1 season. Is this going to be a washout?
Did you say all at club level for this one or not?
Yeah, all at club level.
Club level. Okay.
I didn't specify at the start, but it is all at club level.
Okay.
Bum, 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 bum.
Are you sure it's not Joey Barton?
Joey
He
Barton's
would
one.
have done all top flight and been 1 year out.
Joey Barton's one of the players,
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
so it can't be him.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's a wee joke. I don't know.
Any
Yeah,
guess?
it's really got me.
Any shots in the dark?
No, I've literally got nothing. I'm gonna throw in the towel.
Robbie Fowler.
No. Do you want me to put you out of your misery?
Yeah.
Sol Campbell. So Peter Crouch at Portsmouth, Thierry Henry at Arsenal, and Joey Barton at Newcastle.
Before
And
my
obviously
time.
he played for
Yeah,
both Tottenham and Arsenal. He won the League Cup with Tottenham, and then obviously won a lot at
You like these
Arsenal.
old ones, don't you?
I do indeed.
Yeah.
And then I think it was he played in the in League
He's a
2.
year older than us. No wonder.
Get on my level, boys. Generations. Okay, and the last one. So I've played with Rivaldo,
Oh my god. Fuck's sake.
Samuel Eto'o, and Samir Nasri.
Oh, I don't know, man.
So that is Rivaldo, Samuel Eto'o, and Samir Nasri.
I have no idea where Rivaldo's been. Barca?
He's been fucking everywhere.
Really?
There's a bit of a theme with this one. Everyone's played with a journeyman in this one.
Rivaldo, Eto'o, and Nasri.
All at club level.
I mean, Eto'o's been fairly about, and so's Nasri.
Oh, I don't know.
That could literally be anyone.
It'll get like the clues will get easier.
Look at Digne.
No.
PK.
Nope. Okay, the next clue. In my best season, I've scored 20 goals in the league.
Premier League.
I'm not specifying.
Ugh.
20 goals. I'm just looking at Rivaldo and all I think is Barcelona. It's done L. And I'm thinking I don't even know half the Barcelona team from 2000.
This is where football knowledge comes into it, boys. It's a tricky one, but I think it's gettable. When I tell you'll kick yourselves, I think.
I don't know. I don't think I will.
No, in terms of after the maybe not the players, but the clues, I think you'll kick yourself if you don't get it.
Adebayor.
Nope. I think you might get it after the third clue, to be fair. And it will be a buzz-in after the third clue if you don't get it now.
Henry.
Nope. And finally, I've won the top division title in 3 different countries, as well as the African Cup of Nations.
Ooh. Ooh.
Boom, Yaya Toure.
Yes.
Ah! All that was going around my head was Obafemi Martins.
Yeah.
Was he at Rivaldo at Olympiacos?
Yes. Samuel Eto'o, obviously at Barcelona, and Samir Nasri at Man City.
No, I'm not.
I knew Rivaldo was at Olympiacos at the start, but I don't know any other player.
Yeah. Okay, so Ryan's going into... Ryan's ending round 1 with 4 points and Ollie's ending with 0.
Nice.
So, next round is a little bit of hot potato.
Oh,
So we've got...
Ronaldo.
So I might as well give Ryan points now. But okay, so it's going to be a point for each round. There's going to be 3 rounds, so obviously 3 points up for grabs. Who is going to have 3 seconds to come back to the person to obviously name whatever's on the topic, and yeah, we'll just crack on with it. So the first topic is Champions League winning managers. So it's since it is since the start of obviously the 1990s when the Champions League was.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay. So, as Ollie is losing, I will give him the start when you're ready.
Jose Mourinho.
Benitez.
Yep.
What's his first name?
Rafa Benitez.
Go.
Di Matteo.
Yep.
Fergie.
Yep.
Villas-Boas.
Nope.
No.
Klopp.
Okay. Oggie's out.
Oh, Klopp, man.
Okay,
Who was
so
in charge of Chelsea when
That was
Drogba scored the header?
was
Was
Di
that Di
Matteo.
that
Matteo?
was Di Matteo. So the ones you missed there, obviously Ryan, the ones we missed. So obviously Ryan got Klopp at the end there. Zidane, Luis Enrique, Carlo Ancelotti, Jupp Heynckes, Pep Guardiola, Frank Rijkaard,
I literally thought like 4 of them before we started.
Vicente Del Bosque, Marcelo Lippi, Louis van Gaal, Fabio Capello, and then there's a couple of other managers that I don't need, like a couple of other managers
It's
that I
just
don't
the
even
pressure
know.
of hot potato. My mind just goes blank.
Okay,
It's like
so
an exam.
Ryan's on 5 now. Okay, the next one is wait, where is it? Let me find it there quick. Okay, so the 20 most expensive transfers of all time.
Oh, shit.
No.
So this is like, there's obviously players that moved twice and...
Can I ask, what if you get someone wrong? Is that you out? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
If you get someone wrong, that's you out.
Okay.
Okay, so when we're ready, I'm going to give Ollie the... Go ahead again.
Ronaldo.
Yep.
Coutinho,
Van Dijk,
Yep.
Neymar,
Mbappe.
Ooh, ooh.
Falcao.
Nope.
Falcao used to be up there, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did, but he's not in the top 20 anymore.
Who else
Okay.
we got?
So, I don't think I got everyone there. But I didn't manage to take them all off. But obviously, Neymar was in there, Mbappe, João Felix,
Oh, yeah.
Coutinho, Griezmann, Dembele, Pogba, Bale, Hazard, Higuain,
Before we started.
Harry
So
Maguire,
many, isn't there?
Harry Maguire,
Jeez.
Romelu Lukaku, Luis Suarez, James Rodriguez, Kepa, Pepe,
As if Kepa's on
yeah, Morata, and Zidane.
How average is João
What
Felix?
is
been as well?
Zidane?
Yeah, still up there.
What is Alisson?
No, Zidane was about 70 million.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Zidane was 70. No.
Honestly,
I didn't think he was that much.
we'll check.
Can we
it.
have Harvard references?
Yes. We're going to have to
There
look
is,
into
there
it.
is actually. I have actually got the website, so we'll double check this after the quiz for any disputes.
I hope
But
it's
either way, you didn't say it.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Sorry.
arguing that. Fair enough. Ollie deserves that point one. But
Okay.
it's only after hearing that. I'm like,
Okay, and the last round in this, the last little bit in this round is current Premier League managers. So this is one that I think you should get. Okay, and if you just manage to name all of them, you just both get a point.
what? You're not going to name all of them.
Well,
Might
hey,
do.
current Premier League managers. I think you
fuck,
should.
I can even pick a two.
In my head, just
Right,
as soon as you
I-
said that, I've just started panicking.
He's the latest manager.
Right, okay.
Mark Hughes.
As Ryan's still in lead, Ollie is going to go first again. Am I ready?
I can't just
Yeah.
compose myself.
Take your time.
Jurgen Klopp,
Arteta,
Jose Mourinho,
Solskjaer,
Nigel Pearson,
Lampard,
Brendan Rodgers,
Sean Dyche,
Boom, boom, boom.
Pep Guardiola,
Eddie Howe,
Yeah.
Roy Hodgson,
Steve Bruce,
Yeah.
Farker,
Yeah. Oh.
who's Neville? Who's Neville?
Dean Smith,
Oh.
Moyes.
Yeah.
no, I'm out.
I don't have any more.
Right, I think the ones we missed there, correct me if I'm wrong, because I think I might have missed one of them. Espirito Santo. Don't think any of you got them. You didn't get Chris Wilder, did you?
No.
And Graham Potter. Yeah.
Is that it?
You
That's
just
not
did
bad.
pretty well, to be fair. I think it was 17.
It's just thinking of the team. That's the hardest thing, right? As soon as you get the team, you'll get the manager.
I had Pellegrini from the start. I was like, no, that cunt's long gone.
Wait.
He was like, nah.
I enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
More. It is doable. It's just
Yeah.
literally remembering the team.
Okay, and the last one is going to be a bit of an interactive one. So you need a pen and paper at the ready. It is, as I've done in the past, I've asked you to name starting 11s from the past. And you have to get as many as you can. So, you're both going to have different starting 11s to name. And for Ryan, you're going to have, it's both going to be from the current manager of your club's first ever game for their club. So obviously, Ryan, you're going to have Jurgen Klopp's first game in charge against Spurs, which was a 0-0 draw back in
Starting
2015.
11.
Starting 11, yeah. Then Oggy, you're going to have Ollie's first game in charge against Cardiff, which was a 5-1 win. He's going to have a minute on the clock.
That was caretaker.
Yeah,
Okay.
his first game in charge of the club. So I'm going to put a minute on the clock, and then you will have time to start writing. When we're ready, go. You've had 15 seconds gone.
How much do we have, sorry?
A minute.
Oh, sweet.
Oh wow, he smashed that out. Okay. Are we doing for time, Mol? Tell me if you need. Okay, half a minute's gone. Oh. Okay, 20 seconds left. Okay.
No, I'm not
Coming up to
confident.
10
I'm
seconds.
not confident.
Okay, do we need any more time?
I think I'll regret that.
Right, okay. Last alterations now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and
not
time.
confident.
Yeah.
Okay. Firstly, I'm going to ask you to name your goalkeepers. So, Ryan.
Manually.
Yep.
There.
Yep. Now, the defenders. So, both teams played 4 at the back to start with. So can I
You
have?
could have told us information before.
Got that bit right.
Yeah, no, fair enough,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Okay, so Ollie first.
Dallow.
Nope.
Oh, that's rude. That's
So who else have you got?
Lindelof.
Yep.
Jones.
Yep.
Young.
Nope. Oh, actually, Young. Sorry, is in there. Yeah. Okay, Ryan.
I went for Klein,
Yes.
Lovren,
Nope.
Sacco,
Yes.
Morano.
Yes. Well, that's very even right now. Okay, can I have the midfield, please?
Pogba.
Yes.
Herrera.
Yes.
Mata.
No.
Oh,
It was Matic. Yeah.
No.
Okay, can I have your midfield, please,
Over
Ryan?
Milner,
Yes.
Lucas,
Yes.
Emery Chan.
Wow. Okay, fair play.
Get in.
And then the forward line, please, for both teams.
I'm not confident with this one. Rashford.
Yes.
Lukaku.
Nope.
No. I had Sanchez, but it'll be Martial.
It was Martial and Lingard.
Lingard.
Okay, so what did you get, Ray?
Origi,
Yes.
Coutinho.
Yeah.
I crossed Ings out and put Abe.
No.
Was it Ings?
Nope.
Oh, well, thank fuck.
Adam Lallana.
Ah, fuck, Lallana.
Okay.
There's a lot of pictures of your team goes around. I think I might have been just as well with that team. Maybe not, but there's a lot.
Okay,
There's always
so-
that picture of Jurgen Klopp's first team in charge, just to like show how far he's come. Fair enough. I didn't embarrass myself.
And then
Who's got their
1,
phone
2,
near the microphone?
3, 4,
Jake,
5, 6.
you're making a little beep.
Okay.
Flight mode it.
There we go.
Scores on the doors.
So the scores on the doors, let me just add up.
I think I've lost.
Who's Liverpool's over centre back?
Skirtle.
Oh, fuck, sorry.
Okay.
I don't even care. I won last week, didn't I? As long as-
Okay, just a little bit. And just for a bit of quick fun, I'll give you fifth. I'll see if either of you can name any of the subs from that day. So, any ideas, right?
I'm near sure I know one, and it's a real wild card. Teixeira,
Teixeira was on there, yeah.
Ings, and
This
Abe.
isn't for points, this
I
is just
know,
for fun,
but-
okay. I was on there.
Ings.
Ings was not on there. I think he might have been injured by that point. 'Cause he got in-
Manquillo? Was he?
Nope.
Nah, before his name.
Okay,
After his name.
so the other ones were Conor Randall, Jerome Sinclair, Adam Bogdan, Joe Allen and Colo Torre. And then, any ideas
I
on?
think it'll be the ones that I put in the starting. Like I reckon Romero,
Yes.
Dallow,
Yeah.
Smalling,
Nope.
Twanzebe,
Nope.
Aye.
Yeah.
Really? I thought he'd have his broken leg or something. Mata,
Yeah.
Sanchez,
Nope.
Martial.
Nope.
Yeah.
Martial started.
Oh yeah. Lukaku.
No.
Any wild
It
card?
was
Lukaku
it was Pereira.
Pereira.
Good old Pereira, Fred and Fellaini.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think
Fred's
scores
so
on the
good, did you
doors.
pick him?
Ryan
To be
finished with
fair,
4,
I just think
6.
Fred's just signed the season. To be honest, in my head he didn't exist until this season.
So scores on the doors. Ryan is today's winner of the quiz with 15 points to Ollie's 8.
You know what? I've not ashamed myself. I'll take it, to be honest. And yeah, I won last week, didn't I? So as long as I've not got as many points as the guests, which was embarrassing for me. It's alright, Jake. You'll have to look on to get our.
Yeah, okay, bear with me.
Not to break your heart, but Reece won last week.
Did he? Or was it the week before?
Week
I've
before.
definitely got 2 wins now.
Yeah, but so did the visitors.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's 2-2 now. Yeah. Maybe I should have tried this week then. Sorry, it's just Jake Borras just causing some havoc in the studio.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay, so on to our first topic of the day.
And
I know Ollie's going to be very excited after this weekend's results. Obviously, Man United have done the double now over Manchester City.
Yeah, did you hear? It was 2-0 to United. Did you hear, Ryan?
That's fair with you.
Yeah, done. It was the 3rd time we've beaten Man City this season.
Yous were really good.
And Fraudiola.
Yeah,
Did you watch it, Jake?
I did watch it.
Wow. What's
I was
some
very-
quality football?
I was impressed, to be fair.
Yeah,
Although, what I will say, City looked horrendous.
They were all right for the first 10 minutes, and then
They've
after
really
that-
missed
The
De Bruyne.
first half I thought was poor to watch.
But they were lucky to
Yeah,
go
it was
in.
a bit dull,
I feel like
to
they
be
were
fair.
lucky to go in just 1 goal down, really.
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
mean, a couple of times Daniel James should have squared the ball when I was Ryan. I was slightly frustrated with him, but
I
he
felt
done
when he
all
get-
right in
yeah.
fairness to him.
I feel like when he gets in the box, he just gets eyes for goal, James.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. He is still a young player, and I suppose he wasn't expecting to start this many games, so I'm not going to slag him off too much. But it's just frustrating when Bruno Fernandes is stood on the edge of the area waiting to top bins one. And he goes for goal. But yeah, what a win. What a win for United.
Obviously after such an impressive performance, my question is, how far do you think Man United are away from challenging for major honours? So obviously, the gap between us and yourselves at the top of the league's substantial, to be fair, but it is to everyone else anyway. Champions League, you aren't in that this season anyway. And then you got the FA Cup, the League Cup, which are they really major honours anymore? Still, it's how far away do you think you are from challenging at the top again?
Well, I think if you just look at the fact that we signed Fernandes in January, and already we look a 10 times better team after having a quality player come into the side. United, before we had Fernandes, we were just stale. There was no attacking intent or anything. But it's literally having one quality player, made one quality signing, spent a little bit of money in the right area, and we're already looking like a better team. So imagine if we bring 2 in the summer, how much better we're going to look. The foundations of a good side are there. The cores there of Maguire now, Fernandes, De Gea, maybe not De Gea, Dean Henderson, Martial, Rashford. There's a good core there. We just need a right midfielder, I'd say, and another sort of central midfielder, and we could be a really, really good team.
Do you think that spine's strong enough to be? I'm saying I'm not saying you're a bad side, but I'm saying to compete right at the top. You look at how impressive Liverpool and Manchester City are. Disregard that result yesterday. On the day, Man City can beat anyone in the world. Do you think that your side, your current spine of players, is good enough to compete at the top?
Definitely.
Really?
I definitely think it is, yeah.
Okay.
I think with Fernandes, Martial, when he's actually getting some service, I know Ryan slugged him off before Martial, but once he's getting service, how many has he scored? What's that in his last? Is it 4 and 4, 3 and 4, or something like that?
Decent return.
Now he's getting some service.
To be fair, every time we've been watching United games together, he has produced.
Exactly.
Which is annoying for me, but
I think he has suffered, Martial, with a lack of service, and now we have got a proper quality playmaker in behind. He could really start sort of asserting himself.
He looks like a baller, and it pains me to say how good Fernandes looks for you.
He just sets the tone every time. He just tries something, or it doesn't always come off, but he just tries something, or that quick free kick. No, Pereira's not doing that. Pereira's not that switched on to try that.
I agree with you though, in the sense of I think he's brought a quality player in, but what I think you need to really do now, I hope you don't, but you need to get quality around them, because obviously you've got some Martial and when Rashford's back, who are good good players. But if that's all he's feeding, it's going to get to the point where the same thing that happened to Pogba, where quality player with no quality around him, he's going to end up getting marked out of games and all sorts. It's just.
Yeah, but I think players I know I keep bringing him up, but Jadon Sancho are going to be looking at that thinking there is a space for me in that team, and there are quality players in that team. He's looking at Martial, he's looking at Rashford, he's looking at Bruno Fernandes, thinking if I slot in on that right hand side, what a front four that is.
Do you think Olly's the right man to lead us forward though? Do you think?
I've said it when we was losing games to Watford in December or whenever it was.
I think I've asked you this before, but do you think he can lead you to a Premier League title or a Champions League title?
Who?
The manager.
Yeah,
Olly.
I don't see why not. Well, if he can do that to Pep Guardiola's Man City, absolutely play him off the park, why can't he win a league title?
But that's one game. I'm saying over the course.
He's done it in every big game this season.
But over the course of a season, though, you've struggled against the smaller sides.
Against the smaller teams, yeah.
And that's what you have to do to win league titles.
Yeah, but what you need to beat smaller sides is a bit of quality, that's what we've not had. That's what we've not had. If anything, I kind of prefer that. Against smaller teams that are just going to sit back and break down, you just need a bit of quality to break them down, a genuinely good player like a Fernandes. But in the big games, you've got to be tactically smart, and that's what Solskjaer's been, tactically smart to outsmart people like Guardiola. So if anything, I'd rather it was that way around. We bring in someone like a Sancho or a Grealish, we'll start breaking down teams like Watford, and then, we're still winning the big games. So I think he really is the man.
What do you think, Roy?
I don't know. I don't know if he'll lead these two. From old Manchester United.
Why not, though?
I just don't think he has. I don't think he has. I don't know.
But on what evidence, though?
Just the way he. I don't know. I do sound overly critical, but just in his press conference.
I admit, it kind of annoys me the way he speaks in press conferences. Yeah. At the end of the day, it does he talking on the pitch, though, doesn't it? I don't really care at the end of the day what he says, because it's all a load of rubbish anyway, what they say in press conferences.
And like I said, I'm not trying to be too critical. He has improved a lot, I have to admit. But how long has he been at the club now? A year and a bit?
Year and a bit with the
what has he done?
Temporary spell.
Because you can say he's brought Fernandes in and all. No harm. Moyes could have brought Fernandes in. United are such an appeal if they can get those players.
Yeah, but he's transformed it from a team of players that maybe I've got quality but don't want to be there, into a team of players that really want to play for the club, want to be there, and we've actually got a good squad now and cleared out the deadwood. Look how many players we've got rid of.
Yeah.
Like Ashley Young, gone. Antonio Valencia, gone. Ander Herrera maybe could have stayed, but he's gone. Lukaku, gone. Sanchez,
there is
gone.
a part of me, right, that thinks, and I think you're in a sort of a similar situation to what we were in under the likes of Rodgers and stuff, where there's some players there, don't get me wrong, like Fernandez, good player. I wouldn't say any of the players you've got are world class. De Gea maybe was at one point. Pogba probably was at one point.
I'd say Fernandez looks it.
He's playing at a world class level, but I'm saying there's
He
a
needs to do it
good
for
core.
longer.
There's a good core of players there, but I don't think there's anyone that I'm looking at like wow, like they're like a special player right now. Like
Seriously.
I think there's players that could be, and I think that obviously if you just go ahead and do it next season and challenge and like because you're doing it now and you're what fifth, you're nowhere near what like the top of the league. That's what I'm saying. I think you've got good players there, and it's the same like we had with Rodgers. We had like Coutinho, we had Sterling at that point, Sturridge, all players we thought they're kind of good. Like Mamadou Sakho, we thought was a world beater as a defender because we hadn't seen quality in that area for so long. I think that's where sometimes you United fans are getting ahead of yourselves, and that I think because you've been devoid of like having genuine quality for like a while now, you're maybe pushing these players, like you overhyping them slightly.
Who do you think we're overhyping then?
Probably, I'd say Martial. Probably. I think Martial's a good player, but I don't think. For me, I don't know whether he's the right player to
Why
lead you.
though? What's he
I
done
don't
wrong?
think he's going to rely on Martial.
Why?
He's injury prone for one. Sturridge was a good player. Injury prone though.
I don't think he's injury prone.
He
as
is
Sturridge.
injury
Not as
not-
Sturridge though.
But then he's younger than Sturridge. You know, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, good defender, but then people are comparing him to Trent, and it's like that's not a
sure you
debate for me.
Don't try and say
Harry
You've been
Maguire-
preaching for
after what he's
United
done.
to
No, I think he's a good player,
signing
but-
over a striker.
What?
You've been preaching for United to sign
Yeah,
over a
another
striker.
backup striker for if Martial does get injured. But Igalo, he's doing a job at the moment. He's
Do you know,
doing.
someone like
argue.
someone like Harry Maguire, good defender, but then it's like I don't know. I think I always
He was
remember.
world class against Man City the other day.
But one world class performance, you've got to like to be
Oh,
world
he's been
class.
doing it for weeks. Last
Shane
10
Long
games,
was world class
last-
against us. We're not going to say
last-
no. Like
last-
Shane Long.
Sorry, last 10 games we've conceded 2 goals.
You've been playing at Astana.
But then I look at it, but I'm saying like, where are you in the league? What has it done for you? Nothing, not a lot. Like this season.
You need to. You can't
I'm saying
judge
if
it
you
over
if you
10
want
games. You
if
need
you want to look at the world class, like if you look at the likes of
I'm not
Arsenal
saying
City,
we've been like that all season, but now we've actually brought in Bruno Fernandes. We actually look like a good team.
yeah. I'm saying I
So
like
if
the
we
look of
bring
Fernandes.
2 more good players, we are genuinely going to be
Who-
a top team again.
So who do you think you'll get in the summer then? Sancho.
Sancho and Grealish.
You think your
Maybe
defence is fine?
Maybe Jude Bellingham. Yeah, what's wrong
100%.
with our defence?
Do you think your defence is Premier League winning quality? Taking off Wan-Bissaka, I think is top notch. He is. He just is.
player.
Maguire is good, but I don't think he's.
No, he's top notch, Maguire.
I wouldn't say Maguire's top notch.
He's not even England's best defender.
Why, who is?
Joe Gomez.
He gets bullied by Callum Wilson. Gets sent into another
Bullied?
league.
Do you mean foul? Come on now. We'll get onto that
He's
later.
just Phil Jones with a funny name.
Come on now.
Jesus, give it a rest.
Even a funny
Joe Gomez better than.
But what we'll say is,
Harry
at the end of this
Maguire.
season, he'll have what, a Premier League title and a Champions League. What's his name? What was Harry Maguire
Yeah, but
got?
it's Phil Jones. How many Premier League titles has Phil Jones got? Probably more than Joe Gomez. You can't make him a better player.
But I'm saying right now,
Jeez. No, I'm not having that.
Joe
I'm
Go-
not, but
I look at
Joe
how we,
Gomez.
I look at how
Van
we've
Dijk
been.
is top notch. You're saying Maguire's in the same league as Van Dijk.
Not a chance.
He's a level below Van Dijk.
He's,
I'll
a,
give
So
you
he's
that.
not
he's
top-notch.
far below Van Dijk.
So he's
Not
not.
far below Van
So he's
Dijk.
not top notch.
He's still world class.
world
Oh, he's been that.
class.
He's verging on world class, Harry Maguire.
Oh.
He's a
verging on
good
world
player.
class.
This is what I'm saying. This is like he's been so devoid of quality in that area for so long. This is what happened with us and Mamadou Sakho and Dejan Lovren. We thought, oh, these are amazing. These are world beaters. And then we soon realised how shit they were.
There's one other debate I just want to get it. We've done it many times before, but Firmino and Martial, I stated the point to you this at the weekend. Whenever you're drunk, so you didn't actually write back to it, but I might put it.
Yeah, go on.
I might put it on Twitter and let the viewers decide. But me and Olly, we all often argue about Firmino and Martial. And anytime Firmino misses a chance, you're first to pop up all across Snapchat, and like you were this weekend. But what I said to you was, you yourself have wrote articles about questioning whether Martial is good enough.
Yeah.
Okay, and United are where are they? 5th placed, Europa League challenge.
No, I haven't questioned whether he's good enough. I said I wanted him to push on and prove that he can be United's first choice striker when he's fit.
So yeah,
and that's what he's doing at the
you
moment.
said he needed to prove himself.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
right. Okay. United, like I said, are challenging for top 4. Liverpool, on the other hand, breaking records this season, going to win Premier League, won the Champions League last year. So obviously, at this moment in time, our expectations would be higher. We would be looking for top class players now. Now tell me now, how many Liverpool fans have you met who want rid of Firmino? Who have said Firmino's not good enough? Liverpool. I was watching that game, the Liverpool game, on a Saturday, and the commentator brought up how Firmino hasn't scored a goal at Anfield or whatever, and he literally said, but Liverpool fans adore him. They know there's more to him. So what I'm saying to you is, do you not just look at that? The fact that no Liverpool fan. Jake, what about you? What do you think of him?
He's world class. Like, he's in terms of what he does for it. No, but you laugh, but at the same time, what other player can do what he does?
Yeah, exactly.
In terms of like what he brings to us, he like in a sense he unlocks the rest of the team.
This is what he's doing. Like, he's looking up top goal scorers. That's all you judge Firmino on. It's all you do. If you watch Liverpool games time and time
If you listen to
again,
what I'd said though, I'm saying if you could get someone that does what Firmino does but also can finish.
But
who else can do what Firmino does?
My argument for that is who does that. There's no one that
Can Martial do it?
How do you know? Because no one's played in Liverpool's system.
But my thing is, there's very few players that have got the skill set to marry the two. Martial certainly doesn't have it. He's not good enough to do that. He's a good
so
goal
what
scorer.
is it Firmino does? Explain to me. No, educate me if I don't know. Explain to me what he does.
The
you look
runs
at the-
he
if-
make, he allows Salah
No,
and Mane to get in behind. The amount of chances, the amount of goals Salah and Mane both score is because of the work Firmino does. And not only that, maybe this season he hasn't scored as much. Still not sure right few. I think it's in double figures in all competitions. But in other seasons, last season, year before, he
Think of
was
the
not
important
just
goals he
as much
scored.
as them. The important goals. But you need to see what he does to that team. Mane and Salah.
If
Do
you
you
look
not
at
think-
if you look at the system we play, it's like this whole thing of the role of a winger has changed in the last like 10, 15 years ish. You look at wingers back in the day, it used to be hug the touchline, can we get to the byline, can we get a crossing? Our two wingers are our two most threatening players from like attacking positions. Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah were top goal scorers last season, and they're up there again this season. And their ability to score is as a result of Firmino dropping into space and getting on the ball and creating that space in behind.
All right, fair enough.
That false nine.
I get that he does all
it's
that.
that false nine role is it's a very specialist position. I'm saying there's very few players that can play that to the level he does.
He would be a much better player if he could finish. And that's just like is the end of. If he just could score,
But then Martial would be
simple
so-
question, simple finishes.
But you're judging off this season.
Lionel Messi
Past
would be
two
much
seasons.
better.
Still,
I'm sorry,
it's
Lionel
not
Messi
been-
would be a much better player if he could jump like Ronaldo and head the ball. Like there's every player's got their limitations.
And you're going on as if Firmino can't finish. Maybe his goal scoring form hasn't been great recently, but for the past couple of seasons,
I'll be honest,
we've never questioned whether he scores
I
enough
could
goals.
just say, you've never questioned Harry Maguire last season when he was playing for Leicester.
I never.
Why
yeah,
are you
but
bringing on?
I'm just saying you can't just say, last season he was good though.
Yeah, but we're
I'm
saying
talking about this season.
Yeah, this season now as well. We're not whinging about Firmino.
I am though.
Well, yes.
You're whinging about Martial.
Oh my god, we're never going to agree.
Right, okay.
I'm going to have to put it on
We're
Twitter.
going to have to move on here. Just
I don't believe any Liverpool fan was want rid of it. I'm just saying if he could finish, he'd
But
be
does
a
that not
better
tell you
player.
something? But you said it for weekend. He is the worst title-winning front player you've ever seen.
The worst title-winning striker. Yeah,
Oh,
is he?
yeah. As a striker, yeah.
just move on. Can't be asked.
Right. Okay. So obviously, we said at the very start of the episode that, I mean, unfortunately, the coronavirus is spreading like fucking wildfire at the minute, and I mean, luckily, the outcome of it yesterday in England was that the sporting events wouldn't be stopped for the time being. There's been all these talks and that going on about the season being halted, the season being played behind closed doors, but obviously across Europe it's a completely different story. So I think the amount of games that have been cancelled or put behind closed doors is ridiculous. I mean, Juve versus Inter was played in front of an empty stadium the other day, and it's weird watching it. Well, what do you think of it? Should games be played with no fans?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of don't like it, to be honest, because it's making the season unfair. Like, teams are getting a home advantage at the start of the season, now they're not getting it at the end of the season. I suppose, health comes first and all that, but it's just getting a bit ridiculous now.
And what I don't get is, where is it? Spain or Italy? Sorry, for games have been postponed.
Italy,
Postponed.
Yeah, the league
Postponed
is.
to when?
I think the La Liga have postponed it for 2 weeks minimum.
To when?
It's 2 weeks minimum.
Yeah, but no, when are those games which are supposed to be played?
Well, I think it's all up in the air at the minute with that, and then I think Italy have postponed it to the
April.
3rd of April.
And
But that's obviously, this is all dependent on whether it gets worse or whether
that's
it
what I'm
gets
saying.
better.
I don't think coronavirus is just going to go away after those 2
Yeah,
weeks.
It all depends on. I mean, we're getting a little bit off topic, but it's all dependent on whether they find a cure for it and all sorts in it. Which, you know, I don't think we're at the best place to be talking about like medical emergencies and shit. But the one thing I did find that was quite interesting was apparently some fella came out. If you click on that article there, or the one at the bottom, apparently someone at the Premier League has basically said that if games are to be played behind closed doors, 3:00 kickoffs are going to be broadcast. Now, this is something that's completely like alien to any fan that's from England, considering like they've never been broadcast in the history. You know, it's like traditional that they don't show those games.
I still feel that's just... I don't think I could enjoy a game as much, even watching it on TV.
It'd be weird,
with no
wouldn't it?
fans.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
There's something out the
Do you know
noise
what
of the
thing
fans. It just
do you
makes...
know what thing is a bit of a something to contest as well is what about season ticket holders? These people that have paid money at the start of the season for their seat for a season. What happens to them? Like, surely they'll get refunded, wouldn't they?
I don't even know. It's just caused absolute carnage. But then I think Premier League teams aren't going to be getting the revenue.
Yeah, it's for a lot of
Especially smaller
teams.
clubs.
Yeah, for a lot of teams in that league that rely on the revenue and stuff, it's going to really
It's just
make an impact. To be fair,
it actually is upsetting. Like, we talk about VAR and how it ruins football.
this
This
really
is like
I
scary.
think I'd take VAR. Like, VAR's fucking shite decisions over this any day. Obviously.
And it's so bad because, see, with this whole coronavirus thing, I've never actually been overly... I'll jinx myself now, but I've never actually been overly worried about myself getting it.
Neither have I.
But it's just the fact of all these events being cancelled and all. It's like...
I think a lot of
What
it.
do you
I think a lot of it. It's less about, because obviously I think the main thing about it is if you're fit and healthy, like it is, you'll be fine, even if you have it. But it's more about who you can pass it on to. Because obviously, with football being such an inclusive, like, it's just like it's like an inclusive society in a way, in a sense of like all generations are welcome. Like, you'd have like old people that've been really vulnerable to it, going games that've been going games for years. That, you know, I understand it, but it's still shit.
I don't even really know what else to say about it. It's just it's causing... I've never seen anything quite like it, really.
Yeah, it's weird.
When you watch this one back on Premier League years, you'll be a bit like, whoa, what is going on here? Like, and the Champions League, that's the big one that I think's completely unfair. I know it's happened to United, because United's Europa League games behind closed doors.
Oh, Wolves have got it as well.
Wolves have got it.
Do you know what,
PSG, Dortmund, like PSG have gone away to Dortmund, probably one of the hardest places to go in Europe, or up there with one of the hardest places to go in Europe, and now they've got to come back to their own home ground. They're not got any fans.
And the thing is, they can't whinge for.
They can't, because it's like...
What can they say? Whinge at coronavirus? Like, what can you really do?
The one thing I did see, though, which is interesting for the summer as well, is that they've come out and said that Euro 2020 is going to go ahead regardless. Like, they've made no plans to change it.
Yeah, but at the moment, if it gets worse, though...
Obviously, that's subject to change, but...
And that's another thing...
It's I think that's a bit of a statement, though, considering they came out and, like, they've not put any doubt towards it.
Yeah, but they kind of said that with the Premier League as well, didn't they? They were just like, oh, there's no plans to play behind closed doors at the moment.
Plans can change by any second, like...
And Nottingham Forest chairman's got it now.
Yeah, which I think... We're speaking of this podcast right now where the news has just emerged, but I think even whenever we're out of this podcast, it could all change.
Oh, definitely. It's constantly it's a constantly evolving story, like.
But like you say, with the Serie A games getting pushed back, or like the La Liga games getting pushed back, what does that do mean to the Euros? I mean, what date does Euros kick off? June? Start of June? Like, if they're missing a whole month of football now until April.
And not just for competitions for fans, but for footballers themselves.
Yeah.
If everything's getting postponed, are we getting the biggest break?
I suppose you get a break now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I suppose
it's just
you
not the same. And would the new season start in time? And it's just.
There's a lot to think about, isn't there?
It's actually upsetting.
There's a lot to think about.
Just because one man in China ate a bat. He's done all this.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly,
We'll move on. Sick of coronavirus.
Okay.
The Premier League Hall of Fame. That was a good one that was brought out the other day.
Yeah, I think
Quite
what we
a nice
missed.
little
Well,
thing.
we should have really talked about it last week, but obviously we were at people were previously preoccupied in other countries trying to get themselves the coronavirus. So I thought we should have a little bit of a talk about it now. I think is it the first two inductees are meant to be announced soon?
Yeah, when is that going to be?
I think it's over the next couple of months or something. But my question, obviously, I think it'd be nice to kind of see who the first two inductees for each of us would be. So obviously, there's so many kind of factors to it. Like, who would you go for if you had to pick two players?
I changed my mind. I feel like I said two to Ryan another time, but I've changed my mind.
So who'd you go for?
Shearer and Giggs.
Okay.
I'd go for Alex Ferguson and Jamal Lewis.
Can you do managers then? Let's just do players.
Yeah, let's do players.
Jamal Lewis.
Shut up.
Fuck off.
No, it would be. Can you not do managers?
We'll do players for now.
Then yeah, same. Giggs and Shearer.
I think it's got to be Shearer, and then it's a hot. Giggs should be in there, but then there's been so many iconic players, aren't there?
But I think for longevity, Giggs has.
I know,
Giggs
but
is my number one.
But then think of someone like Henry, like someone like as much.
Henry will be in it, no doubt.
No, but I'm saying like if you think about someone that's like he's arguably the best player the Premier League's had in it.
I'd probably say Henry third.
It's such like because there's no like if you think about like the actual parameters for it as well, like certain players have got like no chance of it. Well, in terms of like being the first two, like someone like Steven Gerrard.
I knew you were going to say.
But I'm not saying. But my thing is
Firmino.
No, I was going to say about someone like Gerrard. He's got no chance of getting in the first couple because
not in the first couple
because obviously he's never won it. But then he's one of the best players to have played in it, so it's like and he's had such a big impact on it. It's whether you go for like obviously the success because someone like Ryan Giggs is nowhere near like the best player that's been in the Premier League, but he's definitely he's obviously the most successful. So it's like
so who would you
in terms of impact, it probably have to be Shearer and I'd probably say Henry. Go for like someone English and then someone foreign because foreign players is what's made the Premier League what it is. But then someone like Cantona as well. How iconic was Cantona? Obviously, he's a bit before our time, but
this new Hall of Fame. Not gonna lie,
you don't like it.
It's a bit American,
it's
isn't
just
it?
going to cause more arguments, and it's just all you're going to see on Twitter. You know what it's like? It's like who should be on team of week on FIFA or team of season. I can't be asked.
I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't be like in order. That should just be people that are just in it or not. And I feel like it's quite easy to say who should be in it. I think like people like Rooney. He should be in it. Gerrard, should be in it. Lampard, in it.
Well, I think the idea is, I mean, they do it with is it the WWE that do it, the wrestling, where like they'll have like inductees each year.
I can't be asked.
Which, I mean, it comes down then to like how is it actually being looked at? Is it like rankings or is it like you said? Is it just players being put into
smaller clubs as well? Who say like?
I mean, someone like Matt Letizia or something.
But great example.
Yeah.
Does a Mark Noble go in?
Like I said, Matt Letizia.
I think this is just the beauty of football. There's no
right answer.
There's no metric you can use. Yeah. It's just opinion, innit?
Yeah.
And that's why we've started this podcast.
Wow, we got deep there. Very introspective. Okay.
Think of how good of friends we would be if we didn't like football.
I would hate
I'd actually like no.
Actually, no, I don't know if that's true.
No, we wouldn't argue. I mean.
Yeah. Anyway, Billy Gilmore, the next big thing.
So 2 back-to-back man of the match performances.
I'm not gonna lie. I've only seen little bits of him, so I don't want to comment too much. Like, I feel I can't really answer that question you've written there. Do we believe the hype? Have you watched that? The only thing I've seen was him skidding Fabinho. Who, by the way,
he looked very good against us. Like very, very good. He proper made a mockery of Liverpool, to be honest.
And the thing is, in the game against who did they beat? Everton. Fucking shit show. But in that game, it was one of those games where like you don't notice what he done, but in a way, it's how good he was. You don't notice. Like that could have been Kanté, and no one would have been none the wiser.
Yeah.
So
I think it's
for a centre mid as well, just to like bed into a team as like a teenager and just play like nothing. Like it's nothing. That is pretty impressive.
I think a lot of it. It's just I know Roy Keane was singing his praises wasn't he, after the game.
Yeah, I seen what Roy Keane said about him.
But I think a lot of it. It's how like. You can tell some players just like ooze class, just the little things they do, like just I mean the biggest example for me that I can think of in the league at the minute is Tielemans.
Mason Greenwood. Sorry.
But Tielemans for Leicester, no one's talking about him as like a world class player, but you can just tell someone that's like classy kind of player.
Yeah.
Proper
like Fernandes, like you can just tell a little touches and stuff, like, you just know that.
Exactly.
I'm not even you're laughing, but that is true though, isn't it?
It is.
It's just like little touches and things like that.
I mean, he's got a bit.
5 minutes on one buzz. Yeah,
but then I've said, like, you know, does he deserve a first team place? Obviously, there's a fair bit of competition in there. I mean, injuries at the minute for Chelsea are pretty.
I think they've got a good
rampant,
squad.
But
so they've got a good squad, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Especially in that centre midfield.
Well, I mean, obviously, once Kante and Jorginho are back, does he get near that?
If he's keeping up these performances. Until he does something wrong, he should be in that team.
I know, but I feel like as a young player, you sort of protect him, don't you? Even no matter how good he is, I think he'd just still get put on the bench for a Kante.
Well, what if he just keeps playing these level performances?
I still think he'd get on the bench.
I think. Well, I mean, you look at the players that are coming back into replacement. Like Jorginho has been so important for Chelsea, like recently. You have Kante, obviously world class.
Loftus-Cheek's coming back soon, I think.
He is as well. Ross Barkley's been unbelievable the last couple of weeks, and then obviously Mason Mount. By the way, can we just point out how good of a goal that was on the weekend?
Yeah, it was a good
goal. Which one?
Mason Mount.
Told you from the start, boys.
Okay. Yeah, but Chelsea.
He got in Scotland under 21s, Gilmore, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Would you put him in the first team?
Yes.
Yeah, for
Scotland are really bad, aren't they?
Have you seen? I think someone made like they were making like a starting 11 for Scotland's Euros team. They were like, I think there must have been about 10 centre midfielders, 2 left backs, and a right winger.
Where's the harm in putting someone like Billy Gilmore in Scotland?
There's not.
Beside
It's
John
like,
McGinn,
that is if anything, that's a much easier environment to play in than playing at Chelsea.
Yeah,
playing for Scotland.
Scotland don't have a bad.
They've got some
paper.
No, they've got some good players, but I think it's just like they're very like heavy in certain positions. Like left back, they've got 2 very good players.
Yeah.
Centre mid, they've got a lot of good players, and I think everywhere else it's a bit like
Right, I've got one for you. It's just popped into my head right now. So obviously Scotland got 2 really good left backs. You'd play like Ashley Young used to play left back. He's right-footed. Dalot sometimes plays left back. He's right-footed. Do you play Kieran Tierney right back?
Yes.
Really? Would you do that?
I'm
really
sure he
doesn't
does.
sit right.
I'm sure he does. You know.
Seriously.
I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on it, but I think he does.
The only thing that time I could advocate it is if it was a 5 at the back, wing backs. I could maybe.
But
I don't know why. It just doesn't sit right in my head.
I think it's more
a left-footed right back.
But then there's many right-footed left backs.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Why is it a thing?
I would rather see Kieran Tierney go further up than go to right back for Scotland.
Yeah. But say I just mean would you ever allow a right back?
Yeah,
potentially.
Consider it if need be to utilise.
Because I don't think teams ever consider that.
Well, I mean, there's so many different opportunities with that as well. Because obviously your traditional fullbacks are looking to play wide and overlap normally.
Yeah.
You know, something different. I mean, I'd imagine Guardiola. I mean, Guardiola's used it in the past, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's used inverted fullbacks, but I don't know. It's definitely something to think about.
Yeah. Sorry, we'll move on.
Okay. And now obviously we're on to the really important stuff now. So
yeah, go on.
Back to winning ways, right?
Yeah. Still played shameful.
Yeah.
But
bit better though, wasn't
really
it?
bad.
Yeah. But a win's a win. Something you need to do. Beat the small teams. Winners mentality.
I mean, I've lost count of how many times you've said, yeah, we were rubbish, but we won.
I think this is probably the first time I said it.
No, every week you're saying, oh, Jake just goes, well, we're just boss, aren't we? We're just boss. Because, you'll be losing 2-0 to Crystal Palace and you'll beat them 4-2,
in a sense, though, we don't have to play well. Most title-winning teams don't play well all season.
Yeah. Remember if Mourinho came back to Chelsea?
Do you know what?
Awful to watch, but...
Do you know what? I'm so happy there's been a week between... Well, there's been, 2 weeks between that Watford game and us recording the podcast?
I wish we had a podcast.
I don't. I'm so happy that Ollie's not had, any... He's had time to kind of mellow.
I mean, what title-winning side's ever lost 3-0 at home to a side bottom of the league, second bottom of the league?
What title-winning side has ever drawn 1, lost 1, won for rest?
I don't know. It's not finished yet, has it?
Well, at first stage of the season.
None.
But just shows how poor quality the league is. That the title winners have lost 3-0 to second of the bottom.
One game, innit? It's like you beat Man City, but
that's been coming, hasn't it?
But you aren't going to finish above them.
No.
So it's
Watford aren't going to finish above you.
Exactly.
Premier League is the most unpredictable league in all of Europe.
I bet you say that.
That's why we love it.
Yeah.
I've said it from the start. In the Premier League, all the pundits said, all the ex-footballers said, on the day, anyone in the Premier League can beat anyone.
Yeah.
That's why we love it.
But we could, if results go away, obviously, used it as a bit, I say used it as a favourite. It's kind of wrapped up anyway, but we could potentially win this title before we kick a ball in the Premier League next.
Which I really wouldn't want.
I want to win it. I want us to actually play the game to secure it. It'd be nice to see. But yeah, no, you did a little bit of research into this yesterday, about the parade and stuff. So obviously the whole coronavirus stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't really find anything That's the only time anything similar has happened is in 1919 Spanish flu, and 2 people died from like the teams playing in the ice hockey final. Like the biggest like ice hockey competition plays between like Canada and USA, and half the Canadian team got Spanish flu and 2 of them died.
Oh shit!
So I compared it to like Jurgen Klopp dying. Jurgen Klopp and Van Dijk dying.
You
Like,
morbid bastard.
Yeah, I didn't say it like that, but you know what I mean.
But it's still something that's like, because you tried to get hold of them and stuff, didn't you? Like the council and that, and they were very
they were just
they're very reluctant to
Very
comment
blunt.
on. Yeah, very reluctant to comment
well,
on whether
they said as a council they're not organising any sporting events, so you'll have to speak to the club. So
it just looks like a bit of hot potato, that past the kind of blame kind of shit. But I mean, it'd be weird though if we actually win it and we don't
how do
lift
they
it in
stop
front of
that
everyone.
though? How do they say?
Well, I mean, there'll still be mass
The players won't come. There will be
obviously players won't come through. But
there might
they're
be
not going to be able to stop anyone going out in Liverpool.
No, but
I'm still definitely going for a few days. Can't stop me.
catch me in my coolies, boys. But I think what they will stop is the open top bus parade, which it'd be so shit.
Yeah.
First league talent in
It
30
would be,
years, and you
yeah.
won't even get. That'd be
But
fucking.
there still will be some sort of.
Oh, there'll be an absolute it'd be chaos in this town.
Just party
honestly.
around Augie's front door. Not man about.
Singing Bobby Firmino but over and over again.
Augie looks out his bedroom window to see Firmino on for.
All you'd be able to see is tears. Holding up an effigy of
6
Martial.
more points.
Oh,
So was you gutted about losing your unbeaten
I mean,
season?
slightly, but
Don't pretend you wasn't unhappy at all. You
No,
must have been
no,
a
I
little
was.
bit.
It was a little bit like it was a little bit shit, but then I think in a way it's kind of took the pressure off a little bit, and I think realistically going into the last like couple games of the season, especially if we go and beat Atletico Madrid on Wednesday, and we progress, like I think it takes the pressure off then, because I think obviously in the league there's been so much pressure on like all the media and hyping up this unbeaten run, like us being compared to like the Invincibles and shit. I think now that pressure's gone, and I'm hoping there's a positive effect. I mean, it could all come crumbling down, and we could go out the Champions League, and our season's kind of over off the league, which is still not a bad season, but
Not a bad season.
yeah, but it could
just
be better.
the title.
No.
Just for title. For one thing Liverpool have wanted.
No, I'm just like.
But,
just
but
saying.
to be fair, would you not be disappointed? Wouldn't it be a little bit shit?
You would
if
not
we-
go down in history as one of the greatest sides if you just
I
won
don't
the
care
Premier
about
League.
it.
Do you not?
I
You
have
don't
said-
care at all.
You can
about
listen
that.
back to any single podcast.
No, I know. I'm
I
just
have said from the start, all I want
Yeah.
is Liverpool to win the league. Anything else
But
was
is
a
that, like
bonus.
Jake's saying, is that not?
I'd
a
be
disappointment?
pissed off.
Whenever we lost to Watford, pissed off.
Nah,
Was, but I don't like losing games. Knocked out to Chelsea. I don't
Would you
overly
not
care
be-
about
I'm
FA Cup, but I was annoyed. Don't like losing games.
I'm sorry. Do you not think this Liverpool side's good enough to like? I think honestly, if we go out of the Champions League right now, we've underachieved. Seriously.
I won't. I do know where you're coming from, but me, I think a lot
As
of fans
someone-
are different.
What's that? Is that
As
2
some-
trophies in 2 years? Is that it?
We
4.
won 3 this
Super
Oh,
season,
the
Cup.
Club World Cup, but what was the
and
other
the
one?
Super Cup,
Oh yeah, but
and then the
like
Champions League.
domestic trophies. That's it. Just 2 trophies.
So
Like
you're saying
Champions
this
League
Liverpool
and-
club would be so much better if we had won a League Cup and an FA Cup?
Just
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
I
sorry.
would-
Would you not say that this? If we
Like,
only win the
dominating like domestic.
it says the big trophies. So obviously you got the Champions League is the big one. You got the Premier League after that, and then you got probably the FA Cup, and then you've got the likes of the Super Cup, League Cup, and World Club Cup in like the same bracket. Would you not say that we've underachieved if we don't? At least I'm not saying we have to go and win the Champions League, but I'm saying going out in this round of 16. That's
Thinking about
abysmal.
it, yeah, you could say Liverpool team have underachieved, and I think a lot of fans will disagree with me, yourself included. But me personally, as a fan, who I've said from the start, all I want is for league. If Liverpool, as much as I do want them to beat Atletico tomorrow night, if we do get knocked out, I'm not going to be as gutted as I was.
small club mentality.
You could say that. You could say
I'll be
whatever.
gutted. I'm not
Like,
going to
yeah,
lie.
that's
to
to
you.
a top
I'm
of the
fair
league. That's
enough.
what all they care about. Is
But I think I said at the start when we started recording this podcast, I'd take Champions League over anyone. As much as the league means
Yeah,
a lot.
I disagree. I've
Like,
said from the start.
for
And
me-
you can.
For me,
I just want- you know I've said
Champions
this.
League is it is the competition to win.
Maybe it's just because I'm a United fan. I've like tasted winning the Premier League before, and it's just like I think if any team was ever going to win like a quadruple or another treble, there's no better chance than now than what you had this season.
Yeah.
Like you think about, we were by far the best team in the arguably we're the best team in the world right now.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason why we shouldn't have won everything we've competed for. I mean, the League Cup, the only thing with that was obviously the whole...
Yeah, the League Cup maybe not, but like...
I think the only thing that happened with that was the whole like debacle with having to play 2 games in the space of 48 hours.
FA Cup we shouldn't have gotten knocked.
FA Cup we should at least be competing for.
And all
League,
I'm
obviously.
saying is, Liverpool should 100% go for Champions League. They should be disappointed not to get to the final like last year. All I'm saying is, as me as a fan, and like I said, a lot of people will disagree, but me personally, it will not. I mean, I will not be gold.
Don't get me wrong, though. Don't get me wrong. Even if we just win the league, it's not going to stop me. I am going to celebrate like fuck. Do you know what I mean?
I'm gonna
like regardless. It might be looking back and be like we could have done better, but the party is going to be ridiculous.
Regardless of what Liverpool do against Atletico, I am going to look back at this season more enjoyably than I did last season. And that's because of the Premier League. That's me personally.
For me, I think, like I said, Champions League for me is like the big. Like it is as good as obviously with the league. It's more a case of like we haven't won it in so long. It'd be almost like the monkey off the shoulder. Like,
I think see next season. I think it'll go back to I'd rather Champions League, but because being a Liverpool fan all my life, having to listen to all my friends go on about not winning Premier League, I've been waiting for this moment, and I am going to enjoy it. That's why I love whenever we did lose to Watford. Got it and all, but just all of it. Olly, for example, piping up. I'm just like, mate, you're just making it worse for yourself in the long run.
Okay, so
the next thing that we was going to talk about was Euro 2020.
Yeah.
Like
so
if it does happen.
So obviously, if it does go ahead, who do we think of like the? Obviously, I mean, we know who some of the obvious candidates are going to be that are going to go, but who do we think some of the rogue shots are going to be?
I've seen the big midfield debate. I'll try and write down all the players because there's quite a lot that you forget about.
There's like there's Ali, Winks, Ox, Henderson, Rice.
Just saying as well, I've mentioned him briefly before, not even seriously, but Harvey Barnes with a double last night.
Yeah, he's been really good the last couple. I mean, do you know what? He's been the one player on that Leicester side over like their little dip in form that's been very, very good still.
And Leicester, bear in mind, are top 4.
Do you know what though? He played a very similar position to Grealish, and obviously when Leicester beat them the other day. He was fucking unbelievable. He made Grealish look fucking
like out of those 3 players, Barnes,
rate.
Maddison, and Grealish. Who's shown last night?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you know Maddison or Grealish were playing?
Was Barnes playing midfield, like not on the wing?
He was playing left hand side, the same position. Grealish was playing left hand side as well. I'm saying they both played the same position last night, and there was one clear candidate for who was better.
That is harsh.
I know.
Seeing the players he's playing with.
I know, but still, like Barnes he was a joke last night.
Are there any other players you can think of here?
So who you got?
Like I'm just talking like central, like out and out central midfielders. Maybe
Barkley.
take Grealish out of that if you want. Barkley is another one. Yeah.
Lallana. I mean, he's players that are in there.
But like I've written down. I've got Dele Alli, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Harry Winks, Jordan Henderson, Declan Rice, James Maddison, Mason Mount, Ross Barkley. It was Eric Dyer. Like there's a lot of midfield. Someone's going to be upset at not going to the Euros.
I mean, realistically, if you had to pick a 3 out of that, who'd you pick?
Calvin Phillips.
Even Calvin. I'd even write
Calvin
Phillips
Phillips.
down.
Joe, what? He's a bit of a rogue shout him.
I like Phillips.
Right, Joe. That's made me think of something to talk about after this, but it's I've not wrote down. But
that's 11 midfielders. There's no way of taking all of them. So who is going to miss out of them?
I think realistically,
Tell me who's going to miss out.
Dawn?
I think Henderson's nailed on.
Okay, we'll put a tick next to him as Henderson.
And then I look at it. Honestly, after that, I'm looking at like this. It's very like up for debate.
Yeah,
I feel like Southgate likes Ali, but he's probably he's in the relegation.
I put Oxen not because I'm a Liverpool fan, but because of his ability to play more defensive.
Yeah,
like if you ever want
maybe
to look
Winks
there,
as well.
Yeah,
I think Winks.
We take Ox and Winks.
Then you're looking at, I think, maybe one of Maddison or Grealish.
Declan Rice has to go.
I think Rice will go.
So then is James Maddison going to
I think it's one of the 2. I think you're taking either Grealish, Mount or Maddison. I think it's
one of them.
Sorry, one of the 3 even, sorry.
I think you'd have to go from both Maddison and Grealish.
I don't think you could, though.
And Mason Mount, as much as I love him.
What if Ross Barkley's form stays up?
Honestly, yeah. It's hard, isn't it?
I know he's not as fashionable a choice, but if his form stays like this, I would not like to be Gareth Southgate. Really? Someone who's really not.
It's a nice headache to have.
I suppose, yeah.
Who starts? So, Joe, give us your teams that you'd start with at the Euros.
I don't even know.
Because I think Henderson's got to start for me in goal.
Yeah.
I think it's got to... let's try and pick a
let's
combined...
Agree, let's agree on it.
Okay, so...
We're all... But how long? Just with Henderson, we're all saying, we all agree he should be, but do you think he will? That's my main question. Do you think Southgate
I think, I did a bit of a piece on this not too long ago, and I think the way I looked at it was, even though Henderson's pushing a lot more now than he was when I wrote the article, but I think Pickford, it's the experience he's got. He's already, obviously Southgate trusts him a lot. I think it should be Henderson, but I think Pickford may end up being number one. Henderson's definitely going to go though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll go.
But
Nick Pope, has he done anything wrong really?
Pope
He hasn't,
go,
but I
don't
don't.
think
I think he's back up.
Ramsdale.
Ramsdale was
Nah,
good.
he's made a few mistakes though, Ramsdale.
Yeah.
I think he's not got enough of a reputation to...
Well, do you know what? We'll go with what...
Ramsdale fourth choice.
Yeah, we'll go with what we think it should be.
Right,
The
we'll
Route
go
1
after
Football
Freeman's.
Podcast's England 11.
We'll
for-
try to
for Euro
keep it
2020.
down to a minimum because
Yeah.
plenty of debates in this,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Okay,
Right,
so
formation. What formation?
I think
What are we doing?
4-3-3. Southgate loves a 4-3-3.
4-3-3, yeah.
Will Southgate not play 5 at the back?
Not normally.
I hope he doesn't, but we'll go for
I don't think
4-3-3.
he will just because of how much quality we've got
Yeah.
in midfield now.
I think it's got to be Trent right back. I think Wan-Bissaka's got a good shout, but I think Trent's got to be in there just because of his quality.
So we're disagreeing on that.
No, I'm not gonna disagree, but would say England for the group stage games, yeah, Trent all day long. But say we come up against, I think there's a possibility we could play France or something in the round of 16. Would you put Wan-Bissaka
No.
at right wing back?
No.
Or right back?
Because
Why
of
not?
threat Trent could do. with
Honestly,
crosses
and I think
or
as well
going
playing
forward.
next to Gomez, you've got that what's it called? That familiarity there because I think Gomez starts next to him.
Yeah, mate.
I don't know. I think for games like that, I'd want Wan-Bissaka.
Really?
But then that's thinking very negatively for me.
I know, but
you're more of an England fan than anyone else. Would you not want to see him playing attacking football
I'm
against the best?
just thinking, if you are wanting someone to defend one-on-one against Kylian Mbappe, I don't want Trent there. I want Wan-Bissaka.
Mbappe doesn't normally play on the left, though, no.
But I'm just hypothetically, you know what I mean? That's not the point, is it?
I think it's more the left. It's the left back you got to worry about.
I think
there.
we're going to... We'll put
Okay.
I think it's got
Trent.
like I said, Wan-Bissaka's got a good
Yeah,
shout. He should definitely go. Because I think the only other shout there is Kieran Trippier, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd rather take Wan-Bissaka. I think it should be
centre-backs.
Gomez and Maguire. I'd be happy with
I
that.
think we can agree on that. I mean, I feel like Gomez has got a mistake in him, but I'll take him.
Has he?
You
I
know,
think
it's
Maguire's got a
like-
mistake in him.
What, getting manhandled?
He
Getting
literally
pushed over?
I'm going to find after this podcast a video of Phil Jones, and I'm going to find your comments about Phil Jones, how he got shrugged off the ball too easily.
That was
That was
there was
exactly
two
the
hands
same
on the
person.
back.
It wasn't. It was a shoulder.
No, there was
It
two
was
hands
two
on the back.
No, it wasn't.
There was two hands. Sorry, there was maybe not two. There was hand on the back. At least a
Rose
hand.
tinted glasses you're looking through at Joe Gomez.
Left back.
Chilwell maybe.
Chilwell.
Because I think
Yeah, I don't know.
who else?
Williams.
He's been a bit underwhelming recently.
So, who would you say?
I think I'd take Williams, but I wouldn't start him.
Would you?
Yeah, what's he done? Like, why wouldn't
I know,
he?
but would you? I'm just
Or
asking.
Shaw, I think Shaw's going to go. Shaw's been good, very good recently.
But
Who
he
would you
doesn't even
take,
play as a
Shaw
left
or
back though.
Williams? Because realistically, only one's going to go.
All right, yeah, Shaw then instead of Williams.
Do you think he's?
Actually, I take Williams. Simply because of youth.
Yeah, but Shaw's been good.
I think
recently.
Shaw can fill in as a left-sided centre back
Yeah,
as well.
that's
Yeah.
if we go
in a
five
five,
at the
yeah.
back, Shaw
Okay.
can-
And then I think midfield, this is where it gets tricky because I think Henderson's guaranteed. He'll start just for experience and obviously having a really good season. And then this is the tricky part.
The front three, I think, is simple. We'll skip ahead to the front three.
Yeah,
How
we'll
about
come
that?
back to this. So Sancho,
Sancho, Sterling, and Keane.
I think Sterling. And then it's whether if Kane's fit, I think he starts.
What if Rashford and Kane are both fit?
I think
I'd
Kane
start Keane
starts.
if
Yeah.
not Rashford.
But so you're saying Rashford on the bench?
But,
Yeah.
I'm
Who's he
not
play
even
over
trying to
there?
diss Rashford.
Sterling.
A great,
Does he?
Sterling's not scored since December or assisted.
But you know the quality of a player he is. Especially for England as well. He always.
I don't
performs.
think you can drop Sterling.
I don't think you can drop Sterling.
I don't think you can drop Sterling.
I would personally.
Take nothing away from Rashford.
Maybe not because Rashford's been injured recently.
It's not even that.
If Rashford was in the same form as before he got injured, you'd still start Sterling.
Yes.
And Sterling's not scored. or assisted since
Sterling's one of
December.
England's best, world class players. If you look at England's world
That
class
just
players,
shows how much of an agenda you've got against Marcus Rashford.
It's not-
If
nothing
he was
to
in
do-
the same form as he was before he got injured, he'd be top scorer in the league right now, and you'd still start him on the bench.
I'm sorry, if fucking Rashford was on better form than Neymar, you'd start Rashford. I'm saying, if you look at England, no, and listen to my argument, right? If you've got a world class player that has been world class, proven it for a number of years now,
So you're saying you'd start De Gea for United because he's been world class for a number of years?
I think in a big tournament you'd trust him over Dean Henderson, who's never played a game for them. Yeah,
Really?
Yes,
So what? Dean Henderson over Jordan Pickford because Pickford's impressed for England in the past.
that's why I've said that Southgate will pick him.
But what would you?
I'm not saying. I'm saying for Southgate, who's going to start? Who's going to start realistically?
No, you're saying you'd rather have Sterling because of a reason you've just mentioned. So who
I think
would
he's
you
a
rather
better.
have?
I think he's a better player
Who would
He's
you
out
rather
of
have?
form.
Rashford. But then big tournaments, Harry Kane half the time goes into these tournaments with amazing form, plays shit.
So are we just picking the players that we think are
It's a bit
the
of
best
both.
players,
I
or
do
the
know what
players
you
that we
mean.
think are in
It's a
form?
mix of
We
both.
shouldn't pick it on form, but I think Sterling's one of those players. You have him
He's a
in
game changer,
regardless of how.
So's Rashford.
but not to the same extent. I think Raheem Sterling's one of England's actual world-class players, and they've got a very limited amount of them.
Yeah.
I think you've got Kane,
I hear for
Sterling.
Continent still putting
Yeah,
him
I think Sancho's bordering on that, like with his
in.
performances
This
this
is,
season.
trust me, in my perspective, this is no agenda.
And then after
against
that,
Rashford.
it's like, who else are
I
you
cannot
picking?
wait for Rashford to be top scorer in the league next season.
And if he does,
Honestly.
fair play.
And he'll
But-
still
would
he'll
you-
still say he won't get in Tottenham's team.
honestly,
You'd have
I-
Rashford
Never
over
known
Sterling.
anyone
honestly,
hate
if
Rashford
it-
so much.
can I be honest with you though? I would rather have Rashford in there than Kane, because I think Kane for England especially is poor.
Yeah, but if he scores goals, you can't really complain, can you?
What would your
I'd
front
rather
three
have
be?
a Kane who does nothing all game and scores rather than Sterling who's just going to...
So your front
do
three
nothing.
would be Sancho, Kane, Rashford.
Yeah. Okay, so where are we putting in for the sake of this?
Well, I think he's captain, isn't he, as well?
Maybe skipped ahead.
Well, he's captain, isn't he? So I think
Okay.
Kane's got to go in there.
Okay.
As much as it kills me, I don't, like, especially
Okay, so...
Then the midfield now.
Two players for the midfield.
now. This is how attacking do we go?
Oh.
Because I mean, it's do you put Winks in there to balance it? Do you put Chamberlain in there for energy, or do you
So
put?
let's say this is for a group stage game. So the first game. I don't know who we're playing. First game of the Euros. I think we go. Oh, it's hard, isn't it? I think we go Oxlade-Chamberlain
Oh,
He was
because
gonna be one of them.
like Ryan says,
I wouldn't be
a
opposed
bit more
to that.
box to box, and then we have
I think
a
it's
luxury
between
player, a Madison or a Grealish.
Grealish. Yeah,
I'd say right now.
or
Madison.
even Ali, because Ali might go as well.
Oh, it's such a headache.
I
You
think
know what?
I'm tempted to say Madison because I feel like Grealish is going to struggle to find form in a team that's going to get relegated or very likely to get relegated.
I often don't.
But then
like
will he
the-
come? But will Grealish then go to a tournament with a point to prove after his move? Because I think he's guaranteed to move in the summer.
I just can't decide.
It's hard. Do you know what? Right? Okay, we'll put this team out on Twitter later, and we'll leave that last position up for debate for
Yeah.
use. Pick between Madison, Grealish.
Oh, any midfielder.
Yeah. Do you know what? Final space for the Route One football podcast, England Euro
That is
2020
such a
11.
hard decision.
Yeah, we'll let the viewers decide.
England, I've just remembered England have got some friendlies at the end of March. So
Like,
that'll be quite
what I was
interesting.
going to say, usually I don't like for friendlies before a major competition.
gonna be interesting.
But England's word right now, it's perfect.
We're just seeing who they're playing though. Italy. I doubt Italy are making the trip.
There's not a chance that's going to be
That's
on.
probably getting reorganised to someone else. But I'd still like to see some friendlies. Yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to friendlies just to see how people like Grealish and Madison play for England.
It feels like England haven't played in ages.
But they haven't. It was like November.
Yeah,
or something
it was
like
a
that.
while
Yeah,
ago. We
feels
haven't had
like
an
it.
international break in ages.
International break coming up soon.
Okay.
Finally, it's Champions League, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
That was a fairly lengthy debate. I enjoyed that.
So yeah, the Champions League, obviously looking ahead, massive game. I think this is the biggest game of Liverpool season. I really do think that.
Right, don't care.
I care, obviously.
Tin
but
pot trophy, that Champions League,
Do
innit?
you not think it's the biggest game of our season?
I'd say the biggest game of our season was Man City at home.
Really?
Yeah.
But I'm saying, so
This game is massive.
would you not say this is bigger than it because it's like further along in the season? We've got the title wrapped up now. We're looking to then do the double.
Yeah, I can see your argument, to be fair.
Like I think this for me, if we can go and do the double, like you're talking about a team that's like up there, like some of the great teams. I mean, this Liverpool side's a good, a great Premier League team, but you then talk about it as like one of the great teams like worldwide. If it goes, there's a Champions League and Premier League double.
Are you a bit worried about coming into this game sort of slightly out of form?
I'm honestly worried about the fact that Alisson may not, that is like ruled out.
I'm worried about Atletico.
Yeah.
I honestly think if Atletico's score once, we're struggling.
It depends how they play. I think if they do what, I mean, Simeone's not a stranger to just sitting in and soaking up pressure. You know, his teams are built on it. But if he doesn't play with any players with pace up front, I think it could go a very similar way to what happened to Barcelona, where they just get penned in. Because we're very capable of doing that. I think if you got Henderson back on that side, who brings a bit of a tempo to the play, it could. I think that's the only chance we've got. I think if they don't play with anyone on the break, we've got a really good chance. But if they've got some quick players on the break, then it could be a bit sticky.
I'd be worried about Alisson.
Yeah.
Adriana's got a
Yeah.
mistake in it.
I don't rate him. He's shit. He's not a bad backup, but fuck me, he's dodgy as fuck.
Yeah, but is that not what a backup's meant to be?
I don't know, I look at Romero for using, he's all right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, would you not want a Romero? Like, that, you can't say he's not a bad backup and then not want him when he plays.
No, Romero's a good backup.
That's what I'm saying.
Adrian, for me, he's so mistake prone. I'd rather have Mignolet. And I know he's mistake prone, but at least, like, you know, I don't know. There's some level of trust in terms of save making, just with his feet. But yeah, how do you think it's gonna go? Oh,
I think it's gonna be 0-0 going into the second half. It's gonna get nervy, but I don't know. I feel like if you score once, you might score again. I feel like it's just gonna be breaking that deadlock.
Yeah, I think if we get an early goal, I think we'll make it it'll make it a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, it'll make it a lot easier. I think obviously they'll have to come out and play. And
Is that tonight?
Tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow.
But I think if we get an early goal, I think we'll open the tie up and we could end up blowing them away a little bit with Anfield, obviously being at Anfield. But if we don't score in that first half, like you said, I think it's going to get very tense very quickly. I'd be very interested to see how Atletico and like the players obviously handle being at Anfield, because obviously there's been so many great sides come there and crumble, and we got caught up in the atmosphere, like I think a little bit at the Metropolitano, but well, I'd be interested to see.
Anfield tends to go quiet if it gets nervous, though.
Not in big games like that.
I don't know.
I think for a big game like that, I think I think the crowd will be up for it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just thinking like 70th minute 0-0. It's going to be some restlessness.
There'll be restlessness, but I think the majority of them fans will be fine. In terms of like, I think there'll be a bit of an air of confidence, to be honest. Then obviously the other big game, and like this week, could be the one behind closed doors, like we said, PSG versus Dortmund.
Oh, that was a good game. The last one I really enjoyed. That one. This will be another good one.
It's almost like it's a weird thing, because it's like you've got obviously Mbappe and Neymar. I mean, Neymar's not exactly young anymore, but, you know, Mbappe is almost like looked as, you know, the pinnacle of young footballers at the minute. And you got Sancho and Haaland as well, who are like, you know, they're up and coming now.
Yeah, it's
an interesting little battle.
Haaland was unbelievable in that first leg. So
he was born in a test tube, I swear.
Yeah,
he's like a machine. Honestly, he reminds me of the Terminator.
Yeah, the way he runs and everything.
He's just an animal, man.
But that's the only time I look forward to watching PSG, obviously in the Champions League, and they're up against a team like that. It's just... there's going to be goals in it again, I think.
Definitely.
There's just too much quality in the attacking thirds for there to not be any goals.
I just hope the fact there's no fans doesn't ruin it.
Yeah, I know, but still. I want to see, I hope someone does. Did you remember a few years ago, or might even be a couple last season, Barcelona had to play a game behind closed doors, and it was really well recorded, and they could hear all the sounds.
Yeah,
all the
I did. Yeah,
I love to hear that.
Yeah,
like,
that'd be quite interesting, actually.
When you're on pitch level and you can properly hear all the players, like, because you never normally get.
Yeah,
that, really.
No, I think that'd be actually really interesting.
Yeah, so hopefully someone does do that. And
then obviously it'll be recorded, won't it?
Yeah, but if they've got cameras right by the pitch like they did for that Barcelona one.
Honestly, I think even with the big cameras, you'll be able to hear everything, because obviously there's no crowd to fucking hear. But yeah, it'd be interesting, that.
And Spurs Leipzig, they are in trouble with that one. Spurs, I think.
Do you know what? Bergwijn's out as well now, isn't he?
I
Ruled out with an ankle injury.
For him, like,
they cannot catch a break right now.
I do feel a bit bad for Mourinho, because he'll struggle to do anything with Spurs this season, and he'll have to play boring football. I don't know whether he wanted to do that originally, but he's going to have to play some seriously dull football.
Yeah.
But if you could have chosen 4 players to not get injured, it probably would have been them 4.
Honestly.
Who's it been? Son, Kane, Bergwijn. There's one more, is there? I can't remember.
I can't think.
I feel like there's one more. Is there one more, or is it just them 3?
Son, Kane, Bergwijn. Is there anyone else? Have we missed anyone? I mean, even then, I think it's just like I think the only player really got going forward that looks a threat now. You obviously got Olly, if he manages to find a bit of form again. And
who's even going to play up front? Mora
maybe, or Troy Parrott.
Troy Parrott missed his penalty though, didn't he? In the what cup was it?
Against Norwich, yeah.
FA Cup.
It's going to have to be Lucas Moura.
Yeah, I mean that is going to be a struggle for them to get anything. Are they away? Are they away at Leipzig? I'm pretty sure they're away.
Yeah.
Like, to get anything from that, but if anyone can do it, it's Mourinho.
Yeah.
Up against the wall, he loves being the underdog. You know, all the world's against him, so you never know. It could be a Mourinho masterclass.
Who do you think will go through from all 3 ties then? Who are you backing?
I'm gonna say Atletico.
Of course.
I'm gonna say Dortmund and Leipzig.
Okay, what about you, Ray?
Liverpool, Leipzig, and Dortmund.
Back in Dortmund, are we?
Yeah.
I think obviously Liverpool. I think Dortmund. I think Spurs. I think some. I don't know. I just think.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's the Mourinho thing.
Exactly. I think Mourinho's got a bit of a, he's got big games in him still. Okay, so I think last thing we just want to touch on before we go into predictions. Bit of a weird one, this, wasn't it?
The big football news.
So, for anyone that hasn't heard, Ronaldinho has been imprisoned for 6 months after attempting to gain entry into Paraguay with a fake passport.
Well, he's in court, and he's been.
No, I think he's been thingied.
Has he?
Yeah, I'm sure he's been sentenced.
6 months.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen that somewhere.
But I want to know why. Why did they want to get into?
It was something to do with it was a charity event he was trying to get in for, supposedly. But
why would he not just use his own?
Because he had it taken off him.
Why?
It was something over. I think it was on the other link. It was something to do with. Click the other link. 'Cause I can't remember exactly what it was. It was something to do with a nature reserve, like trying to build on a nature reserve or something.
What?
Yeah. Hold on.
Didn't he go bankrupt though, or something?
At some point, yeah. Yeah, over unpaid taxes and non-payment of fines for illegally building on a nature reserve. That's why I had it. But for anyone that hasn't seen the passport, it's essentially a Paraguayan passport with Ronaldinho's face on it, and obviously Ronaldinho's all his what details, personal details.
Surely in South America as well.
Exactly.
Anyone's going to recognise.
That'd be funny. How would you think that would you get away with that? Not even. I mean, especially in South America, but everyone knows who Ronaldinho is.
Yeah. He's the sort of player even your mum kind of knows what he looks like.
I'm pretty sure you go, the Brazilian, God, it baffles me. But have you seen all the pictures of him, with the police officers and he's smiling still?
Have you seen the prison that he's being held in? He's holding a futsal tournament.
He's going to captain one of them teams to glory.
Was that already in place?
Surely.
Or did we just hold it?
Surely someone.
I think it was already in place.
Yeah.
Really?
I'd like to think it was already in place.
Hopefully, though, someone surely should have access to filming that. I would love to see that.
What video you report?
What if he's just rubbish? What if he just gets run rings around by some Paraguayan criminals?
Even worse than that. What happens if he starts violating Paraguayan criminals with skill moves and it gets violent?
He's probably not coming out of that prison.
Do you know what I mean? Starts doing rainbow flicks and gets shanked.
Anyway, predictions, Ryan.
Yeah. So what have you got for us this week?
We have got. Are we going straight? Oh,
can you tell us what happened last week? I know we had a bit of a shambles with it, didn't we?
Yeah, a lot of the games got cancelled, didn't they?
Jake got no points.
I blame the fact that we had games postponed.
Me and Ollie had 1 point. Reece is still shouted predictions.
Did you get no points?
He got no points. But to be fair to him and to you, 2 games were postponed.
Exactly, that's where my points would have picked up.
I think these games would have been postponed ages ago, but my phone mustn't have told me. It was City and Arsenal and Villa and Sheffield United, which obviously
was the League Cup on it.
The League Cup. None of our rogue shouts happened, so we'll just move on to this week, where the scores are tied between me and Ollie.
Ooh.
And Jake is catchable.
At this point, I'm more just trying to, redeem a bit of pride in the quiz.
Well, first game this week is Aston Villa at home to Chelsea. I've won for 2-1 Chelsea. And important game for both sides.
I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea.
I'm going to go 1-1.
I think Villa need something from this game.
They do, but I don't think they will. I don't think they'll get anything.
They need a win.
I'm not saying what they want. I'm saying what I think will happen.
Took you a while,
that. Next game. Norwich at home to Southampton. Smell Lewis to bag another screamer.
Such a dead game.
Big one for Norwich. Big one for Norwich. I think Southampton have lifted themselves.
I think it'd be 2-1 Southampton.
I'm going to go with
2-2. 2-2 goals.
Yeah. I don't
know
if I believe that, but it's done now.
Brighton at home to Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal. I think they're in a bit of form at the minute.
I think 3-0 Arsenal.
I went 2-0 Arsenal. So, no goals for Brighton. We'll take a quick look at the table. Brighton will need something. Yeah.
Yeah, Brighton slipped down a bit. They
were Southampton.
No winning.
It's the draws that are killing them, though.
Yeah, 4 draws in the last 5.
If Villa win, it's very tight. Or Norwich done. If Norwich get a win against Southampton, whew.
Do you know a little one I saw the other day? Arsenal have lost less games this season than Man City.
Yeah, telling you, draws.
Arsenal lost 6 games all season. Man City have lost 7.
Draws kill you.
Imagine if Arsenal had turned them half of them draws into wins.
Southampton have won more than Arsenal.
Well,
Madness.
there you go.
Well,
Who do you think? Like, who do you think's like safe? Where do you think the cut-off
I
is?
think Southampton safe.
Southampton 34 points.
Yeah.
7 points out of it.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, but think that. Yeah. No, right, I'll give you that.
I think with less than 10 games left, yeah.
I think we've got a relegation scrap between Brighton, West Ham, Watford, Bournemouth, Aston Villa, and Norwich.
6-way
I'd like to see Norwich lift themselves up and just get into.
If
the
Norwich
Yeah.
get a win this weekend,
They've got it in
Southampton.
them as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some quality players there still. Obviously, Todd Cantwell. And,
Just don't remember him scoring a screamer in for a win. That's all I'm saying.
Next game.
Spurs at home to Manchester United.
2-0 United.
2-0 United.
Yeah.
I think Mourinho will do one over you.
Oh.
2-1 Spurs.
Oh, you heck.
I think 1-1.
We giggle.
I just think Mourinho's going to sit in and just make it horrible for you. I think it'll. I think
But with the quality of Bruno Fernandes, it'll be a little huff puff and blow his door down. No dramas.
And then finally for Merseyside derby.
2-1 Everton.
I'm going to go really bold and say 4-0 Liverpool.
There we go. We'll do a rogue shout each.
What did you say, Ryan? 1-0.
1-0 Liverpool. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's.
Probably.
I think it's the last 3 Merseyside derbies, last 2 or 3 Merseyside derbies at Goodison has been 0-0. Which I think the last time we actually scored there was a 1-0 win. Mane last minute. Correct me if I'm wrong at home.
I'm just backing us to bounce back against Athletic, and I really want us to beat just absolutely hammer. That's
Could
more.
that be the title win?
That's more hope out than fucking anything else. To be
Look
honest.
at me. Right, rogue shouts.
Rogue shouts.
Let's have a little look. Who have we got? I'm going to say... I was going to be really out there and say Joe Gomez to make a mistake, but you'll probably like somehow sugarcoat it. And
It wasn't a mistake. It was a good finish. He just went in the wrong goal.
I'm going to say Pascal Gross to score. Oh, no, wait, I've put 2-0 Arsenal.
Well,
Oh.
I'll say Tyrone Mings to score against Chelsea.
I'm going to say Troy Parrott to score the winner for Tottenham
Winner. It has to be winner.
against Leipzig.
Against Leipzig.
It's Leipzig.
Yeah.
Ooh, midweek.
You know what?
Midweek rogue shout.
Since it's a winner, we'll give him either match.
Yeah. Okay.
But it has to be a winner, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just going to go for Mario Farancic.
If
Norwich.
Yeah.
if he scores in the game against Leipzig, regardless if it's a win,
You'll get
you'll
a
get
point.
half a point.
You'll get a
yeah,
point.
Good,
You'll
good.
get 3 points if it's a winner.
Yeah.
1 point for
Okay. I like to see that you're being fair.
He's got a lot of bases covered there.
Yeah, but it's Troy Parrott for fuck's sake.
That is striker.
What if Tyrone Mings gets an assist? Do I get something then? Or are we
Yeah, you'll get a
playing these
point.
games?
And I get a point if Jamal Lewis assists.
What the fuck is this?
I just love
You
Jamal.
can't just cover everything.
Right, fucking.
A rogue shout's a rogue shout. It's not a rogue shout, and then if it nearly happens,
Yeah, right.
that's why it's a
Well,
rogue
no
shout.
one. We'll give Jake 1 point.
No,
Us two
right,
get
okay,
neither.
I'll slightly change mine then. I'll say Troy Parrott to score against Leipzig.
No, it's going to be 3 points for a winner, 1 point if he scores.
Right, okay.
In either game.
In either.
I'm so far behind, it won't make a difference
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah, all right.
I think that's all we got time
Yeah,
for, though,
I
isn't
think-
it?
I think
Unless
we-
we've got anything else to say. Anyone want
Do
to
we have a Who Am I this week from anyone?
Oh yeah, it's you.
Well, Chris Kelly, I believe it was, 3 weeks in a row he got it,
Good.
which... He's so quick as well. You know what, Chris? Fair fucks to you.
Do you know what? We looked at my mate that messaged me as well. That got yours. He didn't get the Darren. It was the Darren Randolph one.
Yeah.
He was actually right with his claim.
What was
The
it?
3 players you said, Johnny Howson has played with all of them. We looked it up on the train. So fair play, Cam. I doubt you're listening, but fair play.
Right, I'll try to get a random one. See, I don't know which ones we have done, but we'll do this one. Virgil van Dijk, Peter Cech, and Fabian Delph.
One more time.
Van Dijk, Cech, and Delph.
Right, so if you go the answer to that one, give us a comment on YouTube, comment on Twitter, Follow our Twitter at root with the _1_podcast. Give us a follow. Let us know if there's anything you want to hear from us, if you want us to improve on anything, if you're sick of Jake slagging off Marcus Rashford.
And if you're sick of Ollie putting slanderous opinions about it,
yeah.
Sick of my accent.
Sick of Ryan's accent. If you liked his intro this time, could you understand him? Yeah. So I think that's everything. So we'll see you this time next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.